mystic ancient secrets can all be answered when you ask the mystic Exodus Guru. That is I, the great exalted one. I have come across 3 astral projections through the god plane and the hero metamorphosis to give you the knowledge you deserve.
Hey everybody. Hey Westside, good to have you here. Glad you could make it. Something a little different. We're gonna go over Mathew Hakim, the disgusting individual who keeps accusing MC Toon of pedophilia. So yeah, let's get on with it.
My position is that humans did not go to the moon. This is not a claim based on missing paperwork.
Yeah, this is just background for the main feature.
Disputed photographs, or isolated anomalies. It is based on the far more fundamental conclusion that human travel to the moon is impossible in principle, because the moon is not a physical destination. It is a light in the firmament. From that premise, the conclusion follows necessarily: if something cannot be reached, then no one has ever reached it. This conclusion rests on how rational verification works in every other area of human life.
Rational verification. His opinion is rational verification.
When someone claims a past ability, the normal and logical way to evaluate that claim is to see whether the ability still exists in some demonstrable form. If a person says they can speak Greek, the test is to speak Greek. If they claim mastery of advanced mathematics, the test is to solve advanced mathematics. If someone says they can play Stairway to Heaven on guitar, including the solo, the test is to hand them a guitar. When a person cannot demonstrate even the most basic elements of the claimed ability, people do not assume the ability mysteriously vanished. They conclude correctly that the claim was never true in the first place.
Except maybe if the person had a stroke, or let's say the person claims that they went to Paris a few times, and when you ask them why haven't you gone back, they say, "Well, I don't have the money now." That's possible, right?
The moon landing claim asks us to abandon this standard completely. We are told that humanity once possessed the ability to send people across extreme distances.
Yes, when they had funding from Congress, dumb fuck.
Through radiation, vacuum, thermal extremes, and complex navigational demands, land them on another world, and return them safely. Yet today, with vastly superior materials, engineering methods, computational power, automation, and accumulated scientific knowledge, that ability does not exist.
No, it still exists. We just don't have funding from Congress to do it, dumb fuck. Hey, Lisa.
Even defenders of the moon landing admit that humans cannot go to the moon now. This is not a minor inconvenience or a temporary pause. It is a complete absence of.
So that's part 1 of his shorts for his debate against T-Jump.
Now watch this.
By the way, he got fucking hammered.
I was using a Nikon P1000.
Hey, Bob No Dettles, gyroscope. Fuck, why can't I read your name right?
And I captured the full moon. This was August 23rd or something, 2023. My point being is that, look at this. The moon does not have craters.
Yeah, it does. There's one, and there's one, and there's one. There's a whole bunch of craters. This is the, not sure if that's the Sea of Tranquility or not, but it's one of the seas. So what the fuck are you talking about, dipshit?
The moon has glowing rings and areas of darkness and areas of light. You see this, James?
Yes, I do, as well as myself in the bottom right, but that's okay.
Okay, T-Jump, you see this? Does he see it?
Yeah, he sees it. He's laughing at your stupid ass.
Yes, I see it. I see all of the physical deformities on the physical object.
Okay, let me pause it.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at you on the screen. See this? This proves that the moon, it does not have craters because of these.
Yeah, you're looking at them right here. These are craters. What the fuck are you talking about?
These were craters. What I mean, maybe the suggestion is that these are like radiation rings left by impacts or something.
The suggestion is by who? Who's suggesting this? You're the first person I've ever heard to suggest that these are plasma rings. Yeah, just make shit up. That's all they do. And how can you have impacts on something that isn't physical and it doesn't exist? That's just a fucking light. How can you have impacts on that?
Something like that. But look at this. My point being, look at these are glowing rings.
Yeah, they're glowing because they're catching the light of the sun, stupid. You fucking moron. And see how it's darker inside there? It's because it's a fucking hole.
The moon. You know? This is what the moon is.
I mean, they could be lava flows. Chances are they're just impact areas from where just massive impacts hit and it just blew everything away flat.
See, it's beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. I've never seen such a high quality image of the moon.
Really? The moon. You've never seen such high quality out of a P1000. Of course, if you use a fucking telescope, the quality improves, right? If you use a better telescope, the quality improves. What you're showing here is garbage. If you showed that to me, and I didn't know what it was, I could not tell you that that's the moon. That's how shitty this is.
This is not edited. This is not CGI. This is Nikon P1000, baby.
They are so proud of that piece of shit camera, aren't they?
This is not a rock. This is not some. Now watch this.
You mean some physical object that you can have impacts on? Okay. I gotta fix this. There we go. Now we're to the main videos. Solar eclipse on flat Earth.
Okay, today I want to make a very special video in regards to solar eclipse on flat Earth. So I have...
Now, I didn't get it wrong. I'm just can't pronounce shit.
a light source over here simulates sun above the Tropic of Capricorn. I have two observational points, one at the equator, one at 45 degrees north. And now I'm going to introduce...
Say what? What are these? Are these the tropics? Are these the tropics? What is this? It can't be the tropics. But what are you talking about? Is this supposed to be at the equator? Is that where that's supposed to be?
Little fake moon thing here. Just a little disc on a stick.
Oh, okay.
Now the sun moves faster than the moon. Okay, so the solar day is 24 hours, and then the lunar day, I'm not sure, it's about 29 hours. So the totality moves like this. From west to east. Because remember, the sun is moving faster than the moon. All right, let me do that again. Here comes the solar eclipse. There it's in totality for that observer. Then from east to west, the shadow continues. Now I want to show you something. Can you notice that the light on the glass dome magnifier? Watch what happens. Out. On.
Yeah, because that's how light works. If you block it, you don't see shit that it's hitting.
See that? And this observer here doesn't happen. Let me do that one more time.
Yes, not everyone on the earth can see the eclipse. You really are dumb. Holy shit, he's dumb.
It's kind of difficult. I need like mechanical arms. But the person in the south or at the equator, they don't see the eclipse. See that? So once again,
So this is supposed to be the equator, or this is supposed to be the equator? So if the sun is directly over the equator, why do you have a shadow at the equator that's pointing north?
the sun moves faster than the moon. So the totality of the eclipse moves like this, from west to east. All right, have a nice day, everybody.
See, the problem is at the equator on the equinox, shadows on the ground, the tip of a shadow as you mark it throughout the day would be completely straight due south or due east west. But on a flat earth, you would not have that. You would have a arc because the sun is not traveling in a straight line on a flat earth. But in reality, it is. All right. "90-degree sunrise on flat earth." I have no idea what a 90-degree sunrise is. Hey, Lindsay.
Okay, notice how it almost appears that the light, it looks like it's at a 90-degree angle. See this? And I'm moving this glass dome magnifier, which represents our perspective. Notice how the
No, that doesn't represent anything but a glass dome magnifier. We don't live in glass, dipshit. How can this represent our perspective when it doesn't represent our atmosphere?
sun, or our artificial sun here, if this was one longitude line, right, and say this is the equinox, right, how is it possible everybody would be able to see that 90-degree angle or within a certain areas of the earth?
What 90-degree angle is he talking about?
Right, whether they were in the north, the equator, or the south, they would all be seeing the sun at roughly like a 90-degree angle. Now see this? The glass dome magnifier represents our perspective. See how the sun, or our artificial sun, how if they were in the south, the equator, or the north, they would all be looking in the same direction to see it on that one day. Right? Now watch it again. See? Move it along this R longitude line here. Move it down. Move it up.
And the angle is changing. Notice when you bring it down, this little sliver of light moves down here. When you move it up, it moves up here.
Move it down.
See that?
Right?
See how it moves?
That's how they would all see it.
It's exactly how we would expect it to move with the refraction of this glass, dude.
Right? Artificial sun, longitude line, glass dome magnifier representing perspective. See that? That's for you, QN Fee. Love your show, man. Take it easy.
God damn, what a dumb motherfucker. And just to show you where this guy is coming from, actually. Close that. So evidently, this dumb motherfucker is completely unaware that dirt exists. So this is a concrete light pole. A concrete light pole. Probably reinforced with rebar. A new invention. When was the concrete light pole invented? Early 20th century. Significant milestone occurred in 1900 when Thomas Edison patented an electrical lamppost made entirely of concrete. While early experiments existed, the mass production and widespread use of reinforced concrete poles for infrastructure grew during the 1920s to 40s. So when was the mud flood supposed to have happened? When did the mud flood supposed to happen? According to pseudo-historical mud flood conspiracy theory, happened around the 1800s to 1850s. So how can something that was supposed to have happened in the 1850s not be invented until the fucking 1900s, dumb fuck? Look, and it's got a steel door on it. That's a newer invention. That's a newer thing. And it's on a concrete pillar. See, he's just baffled that this thing is buried in dirt on a hill that it's built on. See, if this is a military post, this would be dug out, and there'd be a brick liner put on around the hole to make it look all pretty. Westside knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, I think you guys can see what I see too. Look, it was buried.
Yeah, because we buried it. Right? They excavated out the land to build this thing, and then they buried it so it would be smoothed with the hill.
It wasn't, look at, it's like, why would they make this and then bury it like that?
I don't know, laziness?
Now watch, notice the rest up here. It's like there's concrete and bricks and stonework.
No, there's no bricks or stonework. There's concrete. There's probably some cinder block, but not bricks.
That's coming out from...
Bricks are normally made from clay, and these are not clay. These are cinder. This is concrete. So, you ever heard of a hill?
the side of this mound right here. Like you can see that. Let me move over here. Kind of get an idea of what I'm seeing here. See that? It's like, why would they make it and then bury it? See another one right here. See that? It's coming out from the dirt. And look.
Yeah, because they buried it in, they excavated the land out, and then they built it, and then they filled it, then they backfilled it. You're not too smart, are you, man?
Look at over here.
My nickname for Hakim Jeffries is Martini.
So here we have train tracks, right? We got trees, and look at, see, it's going into the dirt. It's like, why would they bury it like that? See, now this stuff on the outside, it looks like a thin layer of something on the outside, right? But they put like a protective cover over this building. And look at, do you notice these little holes at the bottom? See how bad those little holes are cut? That's like modern day people did that. They cut.
These bricks, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, modern day people did that. No, this is part of the building, dumb fuck.
Cut the stone like that all imperfectly. But look at overall, it's like they covered up. Or maybe that's just how it always is. But yeah.
Yeah, that's how it always is. That's how they built it, stupid. They built it into the side of a fucking hill. Probably this is probably the fucking LA aqueduct.
It's just like
It's probably a fucking pumping station or some sort of utility station for the LA aqueduct.
building. I don't know what it is, some sort of electrical building or something. Then we have the rest over here. It's all buried. Look at, now not only was it all buried, but look, we got big trees growing out. See how big this tree is? I don't know what kind of tree.
Yeah, it's a big tree, because trees get big. Well, what the fuck is your point?
That is, or how.
Hey, U.S. Editor.
How long it takes to grow a tree like that. But as you see, it's growing out of the dirt that's there. So look at the.
Yeah, trees grow out of dirt. That's a fact.
A long time ago, the people made this, buried part of it, and then a tree started growing out from how they buried it.
I'd say that tree's probably been there longer than these buildings.
So this area, and this is a strange area too, because see, up that hill, that's where the
I guess it's not the aqueduct.
street level is. Up that way, it's all level up there. It's flat up there. And then it dips.
Yeah, because California is notorious for having hills. What the fuck is your point?
Comes down here, and then it goes up. It goes up, as you see, to the hills, which are to the north, right? So this area, it's all just like a dip. See that? Look at same thing on the other side. You got these big old trees. Got big trees growing out of this dirt here, and the dirt is covering whatever this thing is. Look at, see? It was all buried. Down to the street level, the curb, the sidewalk, and then there's the level up there. Up here is the normal level, like sea level, street level, whatever. Then it dips.
No, it's not sea level.
But do you see how it's all buried under this dirt? Now, where'd all this dirt come from, right? Why would they?
What do you mean, where'd all this dirt? It was already there, asshole. What the fuck are you talking about?
Just bury it like that. See, it all goes back to the mud flood, which is actually the flood of Noah.
No, the mud flood supposedly happened in the 1800s, dumb fuck.
Which, who knows how old this infrastructure is. You know, they could cover it, make it look kind of new, right? Repurpose it. Like they figured out how to make trains and use the train tracks, right? But just look at, see the trees growing out from the dirt here. I hope I'm getting a good shot of it. Right? Now what happened? What happened on the earth?
Debatable D, hey, what's up? Destiny and everybody in his chat doesn't know that Hakim is a flat earther. I'll put the link to the debate in the chat, and you guys can go look. But I'm the only one mentioning that he's a flat earther.
Where all this infrastructure started getting buried. See up there, that's where the normal street level is. And we're dipping down here. You know, what was it? See? Look at that. What happened there? See that? Now this whole, we'll move back a bit. There's like little sinkholes throughout this area too. Hope I could get a good shot of it. Up there's a couple. Now watch over here, there's some more little sinkholes. See these roots from these old trees that have died? There's little sinkholes everywhere. And right there, they put some trash in that. There's another hole too. So maybe underneath here, there's all kinds of like tunnels or who knows what kind of underground structures are here. But I just think that's interesting. Now watch, we could come up here. It's starting to come down a little bit. Look at this. See this where we're walking? See this root system right here? It all grew on top of this. Look at, can you see this right here? Look at. See that? What is this right here?
That looks like a steel ring and a concrete block.
See that? It's like a metal,
That's not a tree root, dumb fuck. That's a steel ring. Probably from where they attached a cable to drop the concrete block in place. Jesus fucking Christ. So just to show you where this guy's really coming from, the title of this is Gargoyles Mention the Flat Earth Plane. Gargoyles, a cartoon for children.
Get out! Wolf, listen. Had I not possessed your body, Goliath would have carted you off in chains. Yeah. Well, I'm awake now. And I got no intention of sharing my body with a Viking ghost. You half-wit. My blood already flows in your veins. You're my descendant. It's that link in our mutual hatred of Goliath that drew you to Wyvern in the first place. Now my supernatural powers have made you invincible. You'll be a fool to reject me. I'm telling you, Grandpa, if you don't bug out now, I'll fire up that incinerator and chuck in the axe. No! This far from Wyvern, the axe is my one...
Yes, because cartoons are real life. Yeah, wow indeed. So anyway, here's his debate with Destiny, a hardcore political debater and a very good political mind. And this dumb motherfucker who can't understand simple geometry thinks he can debate him.
Okay. Well, hello, Stevens. Nice to meet you. We're talking,
and of course, he's MAGA
about Trump's,
because that's where all fucking disgusting motherfuckers belong, is in the MAGA party.
Tariffs today, and you've expressed that you don't think they're that great or what he's done. And I want to say
catastrophic, but yeah,
I want to say he's done really good, and I'll tell you why. I think he should even raise the tariffs more, not just on the other countries on the earth, but especially the people that are going to be our enemies for the next world war that's coming up, which has already started. I'll talk about that a little later, but what I think one of the best reasons for Trump to raise tariffs even higher than they are now is because there's so many illegal immigrants coming here, being led into the country. And of course, they're having babies, right? And those babies need to be fed. So I think instead of just like punishing the citizens of the country,
And no, illegal aliens aren't just being let into this country, you stupid fuck.
right? By raising taxes on them, I think it's a much better idea to sort of get money from a different source other than the United States taxpayer to help with this problem that we have of this influx of illegal immigration through that open border, which is another thing Trump did good to at least address the idea that it's
All right, we didn't have an open border, dumb fuck.
sensitive, like it's a danger to have it, especially with this coming world war, how there's fentanyl coming through that open border, and which is coming from China. I don't know if you guys have information about that, but it's being produced in China and it's coming north of the border through Mexico with the cartels. Now, if they're doing that, and since we haven't gotten to a hot war with them yet, the best thing to do is get as much money as we can through tariffs, which would be legal and not so much aggressive in the sense of like a hot war. And I think, yes, I think Trump is doing a great job what he's doing with what his opposition is. And just for basically those two reasons, which kind of connect that, yes, there's a huge problem with illegal immigration. And
let's give Steven a chance.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I guess just on on one of these, when we say tariff, are we still under the impression that the other country pays the tariff and not the American consumer?
I think the people have lied about that for so long that people are just starting to become aware of it. And I
lied about that. No, this is a fucking fact that consumers, or I'm sorry, the importers of goods pay the tariffs, not the country that exports them. And do you think those businesses are going to eat that extra money? Fuck no. They're going to pass it on to the consumer. It is a consumer tax.
I think people probably lie too.
Well, so like what do you think like tariffs are collected from?
Well, exactly like I just said, get it from these countries. They want to make deals with the United States, China. They're a massive producer with all those coal power plants that they're able to produce a lot cheaply, and they need a market for that.
Well, sure. I mean, they have the entire rest of the world, not just the United States.
Well, the rest of the this earth does not have the economy like the United States.
The rest of the earth has a far bigger economy than the entirety of the United States. Right?
Pardon me?
The rest of the world combined has a larger economy than the United States.
Oh, right. So
that's like when who was it? Flatsoid said that there are more people in Brazil than the rest than everywhere else in the world. Remember when Flatsoid said that when they were talking about the hey, Debatable D, when they were talking about what was it? The majority of the people live in the northern hemisphere. Flatsoy said, "No, have you seen Brazil? A lot of people in Brazil."
So that's what you're saying. So I guess you're proving my point then. If the rest of the economy is bigger than the United States, then yeah, we should get as much from them as we can.
Well, I guess, but what I'm saying is that like if there's a tariff that we enact against another country, a tariff is something that a consumer in the United States pays when they import something. That's an import tax.
I don't think Americans should pay more. I think we should pay less.
But that's what a tariff is.
No, I like I just said, we shouldn't pay more. We should get more money from the other people.
A tariff is an import tax, right?
Excuse me?
A tariff is an import tax. Like all the money collected from tariffs is just more taxes.
Yeah,
that are paid
that's
for
why
by
they need to work these deals out better so that the United States taxpayer isn't covering the burden for all this humanitarian efforts that are
humanitarian efforts not anything to do with.
Yeah, humanitarian efforts have nothing to do with taxes. And if we charge a country to export things into our country, that's illegal. You can't tax another country.
With tariffs is when you import goods.
Illegal immigrants that people are like okay with, like
so
how it's okay to bring them here. And
immigration is a separate.
This idea that's okay to make other countries better before making our country better.
Do you think
that's the whole thing about America first.
Are there other countries that are better than America right now?
I didn't say that they were better.
Okay,
I said America is the best country. We're in charge. We're the leader. And there's a lot going on. So yes, of course, like the Godfather, they got to pay tribute to the Godfather. But they got to kiss the rings.
Do you understand that tariffs are an import tax?
Yeah, I understand that. So when China wants to sell their products here, they should not be as expensive as they want it. It should be as inexpensive as we want it.
But tariffs are going to make it more expensive.
Excuse me?
Tariff will make it more expensive.
That's an assumption.
Well, no.
No, it's not an assumption.
That's a factual reality.
Well,
if they sell
once
something for
again, it's
100
an assumption that you're thinking if we do this, it'll go one way. I'm saying no. Americans should pay less. The taxpayer should pay less. The tariffs that we charge, say China to do business here, any country, India.
We don't charge China tariffs, you dumb fuck. He doesn't know how to listen. He has absolutely no ability to fucking listen, to process information that comes into his head.
Italy, anything, Iran. Yeah, they got to pay more. You know, they want to do business
here. If it comes out in a year or two that we're paying more for things as a result of tariffs, would that make you change your mind on tariffs?
I still think that Americans should.
And I think the reason he isn't pushing back on this dipshit is because he's realizing how fucking ignorant Mathew is.
Pay less, and other countries should pay more. So they've discussed earlier how the numbers can be fudged, and you know, there's that famous book, How to Lie with Numbers. So the specific numbers people could lie about. You know, I've debated plenty of Globers. I know that there
are people now that are looking at their
numbers, right?
The stuff that they're paying for, and it is starting to go up. There are people that are having to put 10-50% additional charges to cover the tariffs.
That's one way to motivate the American manufacturing to increase. Like, so if you're saying China, they want to charge us more for their products, well, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't be importing their products, and it should say.
And there's no book called How to Lie with Numbers. Hold on a second. I guess there is.
Made in USA instead of made in China.
Sure, but the made in USA stuff is going to cost more money.
Well, that'll be jobs for Americans, right?
At the expense for all of the consumers,
that's taxable income that will stay in the country.
Okay, how do we make bananas? How do we make bananas? Papayas? How do we make things that don't exist in this country?
At the expense of the entire American economy, right? We're gonna have to pay more for everything.
So what do you think is the bad thing, that people get higher wages? Do you think that's a bad thing, that people are going to get higher wages because it's not going to be?
How are people going to get higher wages? How are people? What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? You know, if I have a choice between paying, I don't know, $50 for a pair of pants as opposed to $200 for a pair of pants made the same way with the same materials, I'm going to pick the $50 pair of pants.
Made in China anymore?
I don't think the higher wages are going to matter when everything.
China is about the best thing to ever happen to American motivations. Because Americans, the American way is to make the cheapest shit for the cheapest amount possible and sell it for the most money you can possibly squeeze out of people. We're realizing that people don't want to put up with that shit anymore, and we're going to buy from places that sell it for cheaper. So no, I don't want to see Americans' wages go up. I want to see the cost of living go down.
Everything else is more expensive than
you
your
don't
wages
think the higher wage is going to matter?
Not when everything else becomes more expensive. No.
That's why it needs to be made in America.
It's going to be more expensive if it's made in America.
Well, I mean, once again, that's an assumption. I'm operating more.
No, that's not an assumption, dipshit. That's a fucking hardcore historical fact.
On like the principle. Yeah,
the principle also doesn't make any sense. The
made in USA, we should have more manufacturing. We should not outsource our manufacturing for anything to other countries.
So should we make every single thing?
Oh, it takes decades to tool up infrastructure that we don't have.
That we consume in the United States?
I think that would be a perfect idea. I think the North America and South America are big enough and work well enough together that we could just say peace out rest of the earth and just be solid North and South America
So what part of our economy we take workers from to start manufacturing fabrics and textiles?
That's a great idea. You're saying where are the workers going to come from?
Yeah.
All these people that are just hanging out, no job, getting unemployment, everything. You know, every city you see people just hanging out. Give them a job. You know,
So
they'll
Trump
be
says
at
right
that
now that
time.
they're-
There'll
so-
be a robot. It'll be like
Let's see, hanging out. You mean like this? Mean just hanging out? Like this? Or this? Or this? I mean, just hanging out, these lazy ass motherfuckers that are just hanging out? I mean, like this guy? Is that who you're talking about? The lazy motherfuckers that just hang out? Yeah, forced labor is what he's talking about.
artificial intelligence.
Okay.
You know, it'll be like computers and robotics. And yes, people will be able to get simple jobs. And so, yeah, to answer your question, where is that labor force going to come from? It's going to come from the United States.
So it's absolutely not.
And who's going to farm our crops? Right? If all we have is Americans, who's going to farm our crops? Because American farmers have put out want ads. You know, when Obama was deporting a whole bunch of people and really hurting our labor force, businesses, farms were putting advertisements in the paper, going on radio stations. Remember radio stations? Going on radio stations saying, please, we need helpers, we need workers. We will pay you a wage. Bring us workers. And no American would fucking answer the ads. So where are we going to get all these workers from, man? They're going to work for this lower wage that makes everything in America cheaper.
Not going to come from the United States. We absolutely
Well,
don't have enough workers to cover for all of the
no,
imports
that's
that we do from other
assumption.
markets. It's not an assumption; it's reality. The unemployment is low enough that we don't have all of these
right
extra
now,
workers.
we have
And the fact of the
these
matter is
bad
that the
deals
biggest
with China,
we say bad
right?
deals, but the most important places that America is making progress in right now are fields like artificial intelligence. I don't know why we would take from that to
See, this is what happens when a platform like Modern Day Debate makes an idiot think that he's smart. He goes and he operates outside of his wheelhouse and embarrasses himself further.
mine coal or to manufacture textiles.
Well, the AI would be able to do it effortlessly without even having to.
If the AI
worry
could do it
about
effortlessly, why is
Think AI can make a car? Think AI can farm crops?
the AI doing it now?
You think AI can repair vehicles that break down while crops are being farmed?
It takes time. People are uncomfortable with it. It needs
To answer the question, yes, AI can farm crops, but you know how expensive those fucking crops would be?
to be more or less rolled out in a major way. And I do think one thing about that, people need to become more comfortable with AI.
So wouldn't it be better to roll that out then by having people continue to focus on that research and then just import cheap
Yeah, and Trump has fucked us over on AI. So
stuff from other countries until we figure out how to AI
don't know
it?
where
I
he's
think
going.
the best way to be to just start American manufacturing utilizing artificial intelligence and advanced robotics as soon as possible.
Sure.
And get
They already do that. We already do that, man. Cars are still fucking expensive, and they still need people to do work.
Americans trained in how to write code, how to interact, and every menial job. It won't even be like a human making like the specific logistical decisions.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But then I feel like it would make sense to just import the stuff from other countries and let them deal with the manufacturing while we do the research and innovation in AI.
I could agree with you to a certain extent as long as Americans pay less and other countries pay more.
Sure. The way that we pay less is by importing it. That's why we import it, because it's cheaper.
Well, that's the immediate present. Yeah, that's why I'm saying they can make the changes now to increase how much more we get from other.
My God, he just doesn't have a fucking clue. Not a fucking clue in this empty little head.
Other countries with these bad deals that are taking place and make better deals so that the American taxpayer pays less,
I don't
not more.
I don't think you can just make a deal to pay less. Unless when people start throwing out tariffs,
That's why we have President Trump, right,
yeah,
guys?
and nothing is.
No. President Trump has driven the price of goods up, dipshit.
That's why we have President Trump.
Yeah, but he hasn't made anything cheaper yet.
Hey, Dixie.
Well, in a way, you're right, because the prices they have just been steadily going up through every presidency that I've seen in my life. But that's the point. I voted for Trump. What is it? 3 times? He won 3 times.
Actually, he ran 4 times. Trump's run 4 times. He's only won twice.
Because he's saying the things that are.
Or he won 3 times. He's run 4 times. No. Yeah, he's only won twice. He's ran 4 times.
True to me that
people tend to forget that Donald Trump ran in 2000 backed by Jesse the Bod Ventura as an independent, and he lost that race.
America should be first. If we are Americans, like, I don't know if you're Canadian or something, you're American.
Very American.
You're American. What do you want, like, some other country to be doing better? Do you want?
See, this is one of the reasons why the rest of the world hates California, because it pumps out idiots like this.
America.
I don't think any other country is doing better. I think America is doing the best right now. I don't think other countries are doing better than us. I think there's a bad assumption that every game is zero sum, and if somebody else is winning, that we're losing. But when you go to the store and you give them $10 for, I don't know, for whatever you buy, you're both winning in that transaction. You want the thing more than they want the thing, and they want the $10 more than.
You mean like if we have allies, right? If we have allies. Good one. Good, Steven.
What a fucking idiot. What an absolute fucking idiot.
These welfare notions and
learn to fucking edit, asshole. Jesus Christ. Yes, land of fruits and nuts, absolutely.
The Bible says, it does say in the Bible, like, you don't work, you don't eat.
But I moved to California because the fruits and nuts are my neighbors. They are who I associate with easiest. Hey, Professor Phil Bell.
So right there, you know.
Have you ever see One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Professor Phil Bell? Remember the character Martini?
And
Danny DeVito.
But a lot of this stuff about, is Trump a good Christian leader?
Where does it say if you don't work, you don't eat?
Yeah, don't work, you don't eat. I don't remember the exact scripture because it's hard for me to remember the names and the numbers.
Sure, that's fine. I feel like I remember.
Where in the Bible does it say if you don't work, you don't eat? Okay, Thessalonians 3:10. Thessalonians, sorry. Written by Paul. The Bible says, if anyone is not willing to work, neither shall he eat. 2 Thessalonians 3:10. Written by the Apostle Paul. This verse was part of a commandment to Thessalonian church addressing idleness, instructing those who are able to work to support themselves rather than relying on others. So, but what Trump is talking about when he says those who don't work don't eat, and what MAGA is talking about is people who can't work.
I remember Jesus showing up in front of a whole crowd of people with like 5 loaves of bread and 4 fish.
Yeah, that was a very specific miracle. And then what happened was the people started following him because he was giving them food. And that.
So
thank you, man.
No, they followed him because he did miracles. That's why they followed him, not because he gave them something to eat. You just think those people didn't have anything to eat? They had shit. They had shit at home to eat. They just didn't have anything to eat there.
Thank you. So the point is, it's like.
What was the book? Okay, so Old Testament, New Testament, Thessalonians, New Testament.
Okay. But to clarify, like, are you saying?
Post your comment on Discord, and I'll see if I can't post it. See what it is. Yeah. YouTube is really getting ridiculous with their fucking with their censorship. But yeah, send it to me on Discord.
Saying Trump is like a spiritual leader or a leader that is Christian?
I don't think the entire MAGA movement conducts itself in a Christian way. I don't think Trump is a Christian leader, but I don't think the movement in its entirety conducts itself in a very Christian way.
Well, what about all the Christians that voted for Trump and approve of his work?
I would say they're acting
They're dumb fucks. They're dumb fucks, man.
in a non-Christian way when they
So
do
the
that.
majority of them, like,
Yes.
there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Does he think Trump is a Christian? Hold on. It might try it again, because I had it set to top chat and not live chat. I don't know why there is those choices on chat. It's all chat. I mean, when you go into a chat, you want to see all the fucking comments. Why the fuck would you choose between top and live chat? Fucking, I hate YouTube. I fucking hate it. Not my work. Let me see if I can see it. Hold on. Yeah, I don't see it here either. That's weird.
Yes.
You think that?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I would have to just disagree with you. Like, you'd have to just start reading the Bible for yourself instead of just.
I mean, as I was saying, does he think that Trump is a Christian? Trump proved he cannot be a Christian, dude. When asked, has he asked God for forgiveness? He said, no, there's no reason to be forgiven for anything. Let's see. Being a Christian. What's the first step in being a Christian? First step to becoming a Christian is to believe in your heart and acknowledge that Jesus is the Son of God who died for your sins and rose again. This involves recognizing your need for salvation, repenting from sin, and placing your trust in Jesus as your Lord and Savior. So, yeah, Trump said he has no reason to ask any forgiveness because he hadn't done anything to be forgiven for. So Trump has admitted himself that he cannot be a Christian. Ever. Not until he confesses, not until he asks for forgiveness for the sins he's done. I mean, that's every Christian knows this.
Just assuming what's in it and what Jesus would do.
Like,
and
I feel like
the
I've
right
read-
way to be consult the text and
I feel like
see
I've read a
what
fair amount of
Jesus
the,
said.
I've read a fair amount of the Bible. I feel pretty confident in what it is. And
I didn't even know the scripture that I shared.
I don't remember where Thessalonians came from.
Oh, it's the group. They were
No, I wish if it was in the New or Old Testament. I don't know if all the books remember.
Okay. But yeah, the thing is, the Christian people, they approve him what he's doing. And yeah, about the immigrants coming, there are approved ports of entry. There's legal methods for someone that wants to come into this country.
Right. And the people that are going through those legal required methods, like seeking asylum and showing up for asylum court for their hearing to receive asylum, Trump is having ICE arrest those people while they're going through the process, dumb fuck. In Trump's first term, he closed down those places along the border where people were going to get asylum. People had no legal way to get into this country except over the border with papers. They had no other way to do it. Trump closed that down. And while that was closed down, Trump stole 150,000 babies from their families and never gave them back. Just put them up for adoption or somewhere, put them into the system. And this dumb mother, of course, this dumb motherfucker worships him like a god.
Them just breaking in, that's not, you can't say, oh, you're not Christian if you don't like illegal immigrants coming in, because for you, think of it, instead of thinking about as a country, what if they were breaking into your house?
House is not a country. That's totally
yeah, Trump got funding for immigration judges. Absolutely. He's crippled the process and penalized the people who were going through the process. He's a fucking monster. He is the worst president we've ever had in the history of this country. I'd say in the history of any fucking country. He's the worst president that we've ever had. He's incompetent. He's childish. He's indecorous. He has no decorum. He doesn't know what's appropriate in normal conversation. I mean, fuck, man. Hold on a second. Yeah, I mean, this. I mean, look at this shit. Who
knows better about surprise than Japan?
I mean, look at her face. Look at the look on her face when he says this shit.
Why didn't you tell US allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran?
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. You know, when we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay?
Number one, you weren't fucking alive then, asshole. And second of all, you didn't know about Pearl Harbor until she showed up. And thirdly, who the fuck says that? Who the fuck would say shit like this? Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? That's your president, Mathew. That's your fucking president.
It's a micro example.
No,
what I'm
not
going to
a
use.
micro
I'm
example.
going to
It's
use a
totally
micro
not even
example,
remotely
okay,
close to
to
the
show a
same
bigger
thing.
example.
No,
okay.
it's not even remotely close to the same.
No, I'm putting it right in your face.
Okay.
Say there's people, they break it into your house.
Mm-hmm.
They want to sleep in your bed.
Yep.
You can't be there. They're there.
Okay.
You can't wear your clothes. They're going to take your clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go get something to eat. Guess what? They already got into your fridge. You know, you can't kick your feet up on the table and watch TV because there's already someone there.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, and how is this in relation to reality, Mathew? How does this relate to reality? In any way, fucking shape or form?
Now, at some point, you're either going to call the police or shoot them. Okay. Now, what point are you? It's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't, murder them. But as a Christian, what would a Christian person?
See, Matthew's one of these dumb fucks that say, "Oh, if you want migrants in the country, why don't you have them come stay with you?" What an idiot!
Do with someone breaking into their house, stealing?
Yes, if you said that at a meeting in work, you'd get fired. Absolutely. You'd probably get run out of town by anyone who fucking heard it.
On their stuff.
So, do you think that somebody should be able to buy your living room?
Excuse me?
Should somebody be able to buy your living room?
Should someone be able to buy my living room?
Yeah. You say, I don't want to sell it. Like,
of course. If I have it for sale.
No, if you don't have it for sale, they just come in and they're like, I'm going to spend $10,000. I'm going to buy your living room. And you can't
Well, it would be up to me, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah. But I'm saying no.
It wouldn't be up to the person breaking into my house. I'm saying that
they force you to sell your living room to them, just your living room.
Well, I would say that I would be against that. If they didn't have the money.
That's fair. Yeah.
I didn't choose it,
sure.
Just like what's going on
that's
now
fair,
with the illegal immigrants
that's fair.
showing up.
But in a neighborhood, somebody can buy
someone is not a Christian
understand.
Because they don't want someone breaking into their house.
So in a neighborhood,
think you're wrong on that.
I understand. In a neighborhood, people can buy homes, right?
Yeah, sure.
And they're allowed to buy a home, even if you don't like them.
How are they breaking in? Matthew, you said they were just let in. How are they breaking in? See, in your scenario, you allowed them to come into your home. See, that's the truth of it. In your scenario, you invited them in. You let them come in. During Biden's administration, we didn't let illegal immigrants come in. They came in.
The person. Because buying a house is different than buying your living room. Just like moving into a neighborhood is different than moving into your house.
Yeah, but the legal immigrants aren't buying
house.
houses. They're not showing up with money.
I'm just saying it's not analogous, right?
Anything else of good credit. They're showing.
Right. They aren't buying houses. They are living in apartments, like with 8 to a bed. Of course, they don't all sleep in the bed at the same time. You know, they work on shifts. But I've worked with Mexican construction crews. You know, they aren't Mexican construction. They're just crews manned by all Mexicans, except me, the dumb fucking white boy laborer, who's never worked harder in his fucking life than when he worked with those people, outwork white people by a factor of 100 to 1. You will never find a white person that works as hard as a Mexican immigrant in this country, ever. We have instilled a laziness into our children. Right? How many times have you heard a minimum wage worker say, "I don't get paid enough to do those fries"? Yeah, that's all you get paid to do. And you know what? Those Mexican workers live in a house or live in an apartment that's packed. They don't complain about it, and they don't benefit from the social money that's taken out of their paychecks. They don't get social services.
Showing up just like taking it. And that's totally opposite.
I don't think they just show up and
Jesus
just
teaches about
take it.
helping people.
Yeah.
Because what else does it say? If you give a man a fish, what happens? You feed him for one day. But what happens if you teach a man to fish? You feed him for the rest of his life.
He spends all of his spare time in his basement tying flies.
Right? So right here, it's like, because you're not actually reading the Bible, like assuming what's in it, it's like you're kind of failing.
Have you read a single one of the Gospels?
Yeah, I read the Bible. I've been reading it since I was like 4 years old, but I just have trouble remembering the names and the numbers because it overlaps. Like what Jesus said was from the Old Testament. And then after Jesus' time, the people, they're continuing that.
No, what Jesus said is in the New Testament. The Old Testament is before Christ, dipshit. The Old Testament is the old law. Jesus was the new law in the New Testament. What a dumb fuck.
Okay, I don't think I believe you, but
in what way? You don't believe that I've read the Bible?
I don't know how you can read the Bible and come away with the take that like Christians would kill people coming into their homes or that Jesus would advocate. I don't think this is behavior anywhere.
I think you just let them do it.
And
of course, helping people's one thing. Allowing people to steal from you is not, because stealing, that's a sin.
Sure.
Who is stealing from us? Who's stealing from us? Other countries? Well, are you buying Trump's lies about we've been ripped off by everyone? Are you buying that lie too?
Sure, but we're not.
Of course you are.
Ten Commandments.
An illegal immigrant is not stealing per se.
Yeah,
from you, right?
Yes, they're stealing a better life. They want to come here.
No, they're not stealing a better life. They're working for a better life.
Here because they all want a better life. And are they doing it the legal way by going like through ports of entry?
Some of them are. Most of them are. And even the ones that are, Trump is still penalizing them. Hey, I see Spin.
Signing up. No, they're not.
Do you think that the way that a person talks about these people can be a little bit more indicative of their thought process? So for instance, if we were to say that like, it's sad that these people are here, but they need to go back and they need to come in in the correct manner, isn't that a lot different than like clapping and celebrating and buying merchandise for Alligator Alcatraz?
I don't I'm not into alligator Alcatraz.
Do you think the majority of MAGA is?
Kill people.
Do you think the majority of MAGA is?
If you're MAGA, you are, dipshit. What do you mean? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the core principles of MAGA.
Is into that?
I think maybe some people might like that because of what's going on, because of how much of a problem this is, that the people are so upset that perhaps, yes, they would find joy or relief in those sort of crazy ideas of like killing people.
So okay. So when Jesus says something like not 7 times, but 77 times, what do you think he's talking about
to forgive your brother?
Yeah.
What it means is like it's not even a realistic number. It means as long as you want God to forgive you, you have to forgive others.
So how does that manifest in so far as illegal immigration goes?
Means like, well, they have to come in the right way.
Do conservatives talk about helping people come in the right way at all, or just kicking them
all the time?
No, they don't. Oh, they absolutely fucking don't.
Yeah. Because immigration is a real issue.
Actually, they do. They say, oh, they need to wait their turn in line like everyone else. But they don't want anybody in this country who's not white. MAGA doesn't want anybody who's brown in this country. So what the fuck difference does it make whether a person came in illegally or waited their turn in line? You're still not going to treat them like a normal person. You're still not going to fucking treat them like an American. This is proven.
And
when was the last time a conservative? When was the last time a conservative
from
talked about
immigrants coming here?
When was the last time a conservative talked about facilitating more immigration to the United States?
Probably back when there was a lot less people coming in. But now it's going to be the opposite because there's such a huge influx. And there's
tell you, when did a Republican say that we need more immigration? Before the Southern Party, before the Southern swap. Before that, before the party switch. Before the Southern solution. That's when they wanted it. Because back then, the Republican Party was the liberal party, the progressive party, and the Democrats were the conservatives.
There's not, enough jobs. Prices are going up. It's way more of a problem now than say maybe like in the 30s or.
Yeah, the Paladin was a good show.
When they had the Statue of Liberty set up and they're like, yeah, send us your huddled poor masses. It's like, yeah, at that time it wasn't a problem. But what happened? People started taking advantage of the kindness of the United States.
No, what are you talking about? People started taking advantage of the kindness of the United States. No, people come here to work, man. People come here to work without getting shot in the streets by drug gangs and shit like that.
Like
now,
all the
it's
rhetoric.
Like now we got to fix this. So yes, Trump's there. Yes, he says he's a Christian. Christian people approve of him. Is he perfect? No. But does God use perfect people aside from Jesus? God uses imperfect people. The word
that makes me laugh. Oh, is Trump perfect? God sometimes uses imperfect people. But then when Obama was in office, a Christian who attended church service every fucking weekend, every Sunday, Obama's evil. Obama's evil. Well, he's not perfect. Well, we need our president to be perfect and Christian.
First people.
So I don't think that when you speak with this level, not you, but like when conservatives in general.
And then when Trump came around, it's like, oh, we're not electing a minister.
Will speak with this level of vitriol or hatred for an entire class of people that just doesn't feel very Christian-like.
You're saying I have vitriol and hate for an entire class of people? I said when
conservatives in general.
Yeah, you do, motherfucker. Yeah, you do.
Speak with
vitriol
and hate.
In general, I'm a unique individual.
No, you're ignorant like everyone else in your cult. You're not a unique individual.
Speaking about MAGA as a...
You're whatever cult wants you. You are whatever any cult you're a member of wants you to be. You're that gullible. You're that easily led.
As a movement, not you individually. I think that it doesn't feel very Christian to me, I guess. It feels very like hateful and very condemnatory.
Maybe you need to start reading the Bible, Stephen.
Okay.
Just
religion is the worst thing that ever happened to this fucking world.
I mean, honestly, right? Because then you'll understand better, and you won't make such generalizations.
I'm talking about MAGA. I don't think MAGA's in the Bible.
Well, MAGA is a huge group of unique people, different types of people.
We can speak about people broadly, yeah.
No, they aren't different types of people. They're all the same fucking people, man. They're all the same racist, hateful, degenerate fucks.
President Trump can sue people because he's the president, and the president should not be able to sue anybody.
I think that
the president should not sue people. It's beneath his station.
That sets a very bad precedent when the president is filing civil suits against people when he's also in charge of whether or not their businesses could succeed or fail based on potential mergers in the future.
Well, I would disagree because every citizen should, or they do have the right to exercise.
Oh, and did you see the little devotee? Where are we at 1923?
Group of unique people, different types.
Look at this piece of shit. Trying to dress like Trump. It's fucking hilarious.
To exercise their illegal alternatives, right, and sue people. And I would disagree also. I mean, because he's the president, does that take away his freedom to sue people? And because he is president, that would play into how business.
No, it doesn't take away his ability to sue people. The same way him being president doesn't take away other people's First Amendment rights, you dumb motherfucker. And when the president sues people in order to get his agenda passed, yeah, that's fucking wrong.
Businesses operate because he is the president and could make those types of decisions. And if it was illegal,
do you think that it might influence the way that companies have their speech about the president if they know he could sue them or block their mergers?
Well, I mean, if they're just bad mouthing him and insulting him and lying, yeah, he should.
Right?
Okay. So why? How? He doesn't even understand the First Amendment. He doesn't understand the Constitution. That's for sure.
Bad mouth and insult people.
Well, because that's also a legal option. Also, if someone's lying in print and obviously lying, then they can be sued for that.
What if they don't feel like they're lying, but he just wants to sue them?
Well, that's why they have court cases.
But
that's why they bring evidence.
That's
why they bring evidence.
But if they were to block a merger, and he's shown that he's like plays favorites when it comes to how he runs the executive branch.
He's the president.
The president shouldn't be playing favorites like that. You wouldn't want that to happen.
Well, if you say he shouldn't do that, then you should vote the way you feel. You should vote for someone that will do exactly what you want them to do.
So you're okay with the president?
Yeah, we do that. The problem is there's too many gullible dumb fucks like you, Mathew, that vote against your own fucking best interest. I'd pay money to see Mathew get deported because he looks Mexican. I would pay money to see that. To see him fucking detained and jailed for a week because I'm American. Really, I'm American. I'd love to see that. I'd pay money to fucking see that.
President weaponizing the DOJ as long as he's doing it on your behalf, as long as you feel like he represents your interest.
Wait, that's kind of a loaded question.
Well, that's basically what you said. You should just vote for who you want. I want somebody who wouldn't weaponize.
Yes, I did vote for him to do the things he's doing, but whoever the president was, if it was...
Why the fuck would you vote for him for someone to kill people in the streets, to lock up Americans? Why would you vote for that dumb fuck?
Kamala Harris?
That reason. Because he's a fucktard. Her name is Kamala, you dumb motherfucker. It's not camel toe. It's not Kamala. It's not Kamala. It's Kamala.
If she was president, she could sue who she wants.
Okay. And you think that would be a good precedent to set for presidents to just be filing lawsuits?
They do.
No, they don't.
People.
They don't do that. Nobody has done this before Trump.
So he's doing something good then. If he's exercising
No, he's not doing something good. He's a manipulative fuck.
his rights, and then hitherto they were not exercising their rights. So you're saying presidents were just letting people lie about them, trash talk them.
Yeah. Yeah, because they can't control what people say with their free speech, stupid. This motherfucker.
Didn't Donald Trump become popular in the 2016 election season by lying and saying that Obama was born in Kenya?
That did not play into any part of why I voted for Trump.
I don't care.
Oh, I'm sure it didn't. Oh, I'm sure it didn't. You lying sack of shit.
He did. That was one of the things that blew him up politically initially, was that lie.
Well, that doesn't play into why I voted for him.
I'm not asking why you voted for him, but Barack Obama didn't sue him, did he?
Well, that was his choice.
Yeah.
Would it have been legal for Obama to sue Trump?
Legal, probably, but
why didn't he?
Because it's not becoming of the office of the.
Because he has respect for the office. Trump doesn't.
Presidency, because it sets a very scary standard for freedom of speech in the United States, to know that the president of the United States might come down on you because he doesn't like things you say about him.
Well, that's why they have court cases. That's why they can
Court cases
present
can't adjudicate
evidence.
this. It's like a constitutional issue. It's like
Yeah,
a
that's
matter
what
of
I'm
freedom.
saying. So one person's freedom of speech because another person's slander or libel.
No. Slander and libel are different than freedom of speech, motherfucker.
Or defamation. Just depends on where the chips fall.
Why not just sue him when you're out of office?
Because that's why wait.
Because it's
why
because
wait?
Because the president of the United States.
If you violated my rights,
You're not.
I wouldn't
Nobody's
wait
violating
till,
your rights.
Oh, you know what? Let's wait a while to sue this guy just so he could feel better. No, if I'm going to sue you, you're going to feel it.
Yeah, no one is violating Trump's rights, asshole. They're telling the truth about him, and Trump doesn't like that.
It's going to be immediate. So Trump, I say I approve what Trump's doing. What you call weaponization, I call more like he's just utilizing it. And yeah, he is the president. So what are you going to do? Just like cry? Like, he shouldn't do this. He shouldn't exercise his rights.
He isn't exercising his rights by having his DOJ go after his political rivals. That's not one of his rights, you asshole.
Trump were to abolish the Congress and just pass all the legislation he wants to the White House, would you be okay with that?
I don't think so. I think that would be too much of a misstep and take away people's rights to representation.
Okay. Do you think that Donald Trump personally controlling his attorney general and directing her where to investigate all the stuff related to Russiagate to try to like get off attention from the Epstein stuff? Do you
Why
think
would
that
he
that's,
not?
Well,
because she doesn't work for him. She is America's lawyer. She's not Donald Trump's personal lawyer, stupid.
Historically, we care about an independence to the Department of Justice.
Well, we know that most of history is a lie anyways. So
Jesus fucking Christ.
Now where we are, it's like we cannot just operate under some fairy tale assumptions about how things should or should not be.
Are you disappointed in how he's directed the DOJ and the...
So the Constitution is how we know what should or shouldn't be in politics. You stupid fuck.
If you had to handle the Epstein case?
Well, I would say that would be one that I would say he needs to like be more honest about because it might implicate him in some way. So that in that particular thing, yes, they should release it. But if he's connected with it, I could see why he might want to hide that information.
Okay.
Or his friends that are
So in
all
a few years,
politicians, that are all actors, athletes, all those people doing disgusting things to kids. Yeah, there's something very bad going on, and it's deeper than just Trump.
Right, and Trump's covering it up because he's part of it, dumb fuck. His name appears almost, if not more, in the Epstein files than Jeffrey Epstein himself. Plus, there's a report and a part of the part of the Epstein files where a 14-year-old girl accuses Trump of trying to molest her, and she bit his little fucking mushroom dick. That's why he's covering it up. because he's in the files as one of the people that the files are about.
Trump or Biden.
So in a few years, when he hasn't released anything related to the Epstein stuff, will you say that was like a failure of his administration as so far as like rule of law
That
goes?
might be a fair one to say, but I mean, am I going to go watch any of those like movies with those people involved? No. I don't think anyone really is fans of those people anymore that got exposed for doing bad stuff to kids.
Well, there might be people
Any of
involved that you
them.
don't even know about, right?
Well, there's a lot of stuff we don't know, you
Okay.
know? But I mean, like, am I going to go watch those Hollywood movies?
Yeah. There is a lot of stuff you don't know. That's about the only true statement you've said all day.
No. Am I going to listen to any of that mainstream music? No. Am I going to?
Yes. The victim's name has been released while the people who are guilty have been fucking redacted. Fuck.
Look at any of what they're,
What a major fuck up.
or excuse me, am I going to believe what they're telling me?
But they shouldn't complain because the Dow is at 50,000.
No. To me, Trump, yeah, he's not perfect. He's imperfect.
So then based on how Trump has handled his, I guess, presidency, you support everything that happened insofar as the DOJ is concerned under Biden? You thought that was all fine?
Oh no, I think that Biden, he was really, he did so much bad stuff that it wasn't even like a real guy. It was just, I think personally, it was a series of actors wearing masks.
What was a
and
bad thing that
also-
came from the Biden DOJ that you think was bad if Trump is judging?
See, Destiny's just absorbing the idiocy here. He knows he's full of shit.
No bad.
Biden?
Yeah, just one bad thing that you thought came from the Department of Justice or the FBI or something.
They allowed so much against Trump. So much.
You mean investigations into his crimes? You mean that? Yes, he was investigated for fraud and found guilty, motherfucker. 34 counts of it. He was adjudicated as a rapist. Now, it doesn't say rapist on the forms because of that, they have changed the statutes to include what Trump did as rape. So if the statute had been fixed the way it should have been, Trump would have been convicted of rape and not just gross sexual imposition and sexual molestation.
Lies.
Not to mention the fact that he said he'd want to date his underage daughter, bragged about walking in on naked 14-year-old girls in his beauty pageants, hypersexualized a 10-year-old girl on an escalator, saying that, look, see that? In 10 years, I'll be dating her.
And then there was so much
lies for what? Can't Trump just
against,
he can
like,
just sue them,
right-wing
right?
people.
Yeah, but can't he just sue them?
There was so much that they did that.
Also, writing a poem to Jeffrey Epstein and framing it with a drawing of an adolescent girl. That wasn't an adult girl. That wasn't an adult woman. Let's see. Trump's poem to Epstein. Just checking. Does anybody think this is an adult person? This drawing is of an adult person? I didn't fucking think so.
That the social media people got busted for. That, yes, that's what Biden was doing. His cronies were trying to manipulate social media. And I don't
like,
think
there's no evidence for
Trump was doing that.
I don't think there's any evidence
No, they weren't, dipshit.
for any of that.
Well, you
Yes, no evidence at all.
say that, but when they admit to it, and
nobody
then, like,
admitted
me
to
being
any
a
of it.
victim of it. Like if I put a meme up of it showed Xi Jinping with like Obama and Biden. They're like dogs. And I put the song "Who Let the Dogs Out." That got off quicker than anything else I posted, and it banned me for a long time from doing live or anything.
From where? What platform?
That was the Facebook.
And you think that
right? And that guy
think that-
also admitted that.
So he thinks Biden did that? He thinks Biden did that?
What was it? The
Wait,
FBI,
do you think that
they were
Biden-
instructed
do you think
people to lower certain things
Do you,
and upbring other things.
okay, there's
And that
no
was under
evidence.
Biden.
for any of that, right?
And I would say him posting that meme wasn't what got him kicked off Facebook. It was probably anti-vax garbage. It was probably anti-vax bullshit. That's probably what got him kicked off.
Excuse me?
There's no evidence for any
like
of that.
Testimonial evidence that they did that?
That
and they
it
were
came from
censoring things?
It could have been Facebook censoring it, no?
Yeah, and what were they doing that for? Under who?
Well, some of the heavy...
Facebook doesn't work for Biden. Facebook isn't part of the administration, you ignorant fuck.
Censorship was in 2020 when Trump was president, right?
Yeah, or it could have been copyrighted music. Who let the dogs out is not public domain.
Well, in which...
It's like these dumb motherfuckers, they talk about flat earth and anti-vax and calling everybody pedophiles and all this other horse shit. And they get booted and they say, well, they kicked off of flat earth. I was just talking about flat earth.
Which way did that favor? Did that favor?
Doesn't matter. Trump was president, wasn't it?
It does, because it shows motivation. It shows if they're...
I tend to think that I'm like Destiny's dumber brother. We think a lot alike.
Trash talking Trump, then when he's president, and now they're afraid that he is president. It's like they're crybabies. They want to do something bad to him when he's not president, but then when he is president, they want to fight him and say, "Oh, you can't do that," even though he suffered that same thing. It's a hypocrisy.
Destiny's like, holy motherfucking shit, this guy.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh man, a whole different debate topic.
He's just absorbing shit.
But right now we're talking about Trump. You were saying he weaponized the Department of Justice and all that.
Yes, he did. He absolutely did. While complaining that the Department of Justice is being weaponized against him. See, every time Trump says that he's not going to do something, or he isn't doing something, or he won't do something, there's 100% chance that he is either doing it, was doing it, or is getting ready to do it.
We'll just call it like he's using it.
Yeah,
right? The Democrats want to stack the Supreme Court. The Democrats want to stack the Supreme Court. Meanwhile,
that's not. I think in the United States of America, the Department of Justice should be a separate institution that represents like noble criminal pursuits in the United States. It's not supposed to be the lapdog of the U.S. president.
They don't do.
They do that.
Things.
They do that. There was a reason why there were independent special counsels that were investigating Biden.
Dude, if I commit a crime,
nothing to do with what we're talking about.
The government
nothing to do with what we're talking about. No, most.
You're not the president, dumb fuck. You aren't part of the government.
Go undiscovered and unpunished.
They'll use everything they can.
No,
hey, Cygnus.
Trust me, if I do
have the resource to do that, that's not true.
Right, but when the police or whatever, those government people, they do wrong, they don't go after them, but they went after Trump. Like the police, like when they kill people.
Yeah, they went after Trump because he was a criminal. Our other presidents have not been criminals. Richard Nixon, they went after him. You know why? Because he's a fucking criminal.
People, the police aren't going after him trying to stop him. They would hide their friends and protect them, like we saw with the murder of Kelly Thomas in Fullerton.
Why is it that we wouldn't? Shouldn't Trump have more friends than anybody else then? If he's a billionaire and he's a politician,
well, he probably makes a lot of enemies. But I think the honest people are kind of siding with him, and the people that have something to lose, they're against him.
Okay. I think that the DOJ should operate independent of the president's personal whims. I think under Biden, I think it was largely.
Kelly Thomas was a homeless man with schizophrenia who died after being beaten by 6 Fullerton police officers in 2011. They have that's absolutely nothing to fucking do with Trump. Nothing. Nothing to do with Biden, Trump, Obama, Carter, Reagan, either Bushes. The fuck is this guy talking about?
The case that was what happened. I think the easiest evidence of that is the multiple special counsels that were investigating him and his son that he allowed to continue, as opposed to Donald Trump, who tries to shut down every investigation that is into him or his family or anybody around him.
Well, he's the president. I mean, he's the.
But you said you should be able to sue anybody, right? You should be able to take anybody to court. That's what you said earlier, dumb fuck. And now, well, he's the president, so he can do nefarious shit, right? He can shut those things down because he's the president. No, he can't, motherfucker. The branches of government are supposed to be separate, you stupid, illiterate, dumb fuck.
Just because he's the
head.
president doesn't mean that he can just do.
I mean, what do you, do you not want him to do that?
No, I don't. I don't
Especially-
want him
Now
to intervene
watch.
personally
Now
for his
watch.
own narcissistic interests.
Now
I don't want
watch.
that to happen.
What if it's actually justice that's being served?
I mean, he just called someone a hypocrite. And then just pointed out complete hypocrisy.
That he's actually going after real criminals that have done bad things, and they just so happen to be going against him, right? Like,
what criminals that have done bad things? Mean done bad things to Trump by investigating him for his crimes, like Robert Mueller, or who's the newest one? I mean, like that. God damn, you're dumb.
like the okay, sorry.
So,
God, what an ignorant motherfucker. What an absolute dumb shit. So that's all we have. That's all we have for today.
For the president of the United States, but that's good. I'm glad you guys are focused where it really counts on Twitter.
Dude, you have like TDS, like you are like the prototype of TDS. It's unbelievable. You wake up every morning and you decide.
And this fucking bitch here used to be a left-wing liberal for at the Young Turks. She's one of the people that founded the Young Turks. Used to be a left-wing liberal. Now she's a fucking clueless pawn for Trump. And bitch, the only people with TDS these days are the dumb motherfuckers like you that still support him. You've got to be pretty fucking deranged to support a rapist and a 34-count felon and an un-American maggot who abuses the Constitution, kills fishermen in their fishing boats off the coast of wherever, South America. You got to be pretty fucking deranged to support Donald Trump. Anyway, that's it. Later, guys.